Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, I'm hoping to get a guest on for the bottom of the hour. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Luke Adler, author of a book called Born to Heal, a really interesting story about his personal story, about the aspects of healing that we don't often hear about, and certainly we don't talk about a lot. We mentioned it a little bit on this program, the secret aspects of health and wellness. I've often said that healing and health, or the lack thereof, is multi-dimensional, and by that I mean spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, and we spend a heck of a lot of time talking about the physical aspects of health. But as somebody who's been in the healing profession now for over 30 years, what I've noticed is very often there are mental, emotional, and even spiritual aspects that are lurking behind, that are hidden behind our seemingly, apparently physical health challenges. What I've come to realize is that there's no such thing as a purely physical health challenge, that there's always some kind of spiritual, mental, and emotional component hiding behind. And Luke has written a really cool book about his experiences with this very, very notion. SMEP, I call it. Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. And hopefully we'll have Luke on at the bottom of the hour. I'm hoping to find that out here momentarily. Let's see. If he does come on, well, I guess your call's here in our second segment. Otherwise, we'll just do things as normal. Okay, so we're talking carnitine. We're talking heart disease. One of the all-time great nutritional supplements for heart disease is carnitine, L-carnitine. There's different forms of carnitine. We'll be getting to that here in a little bit. Carnitine is not just important for the heart. It's important for the brain as well. It's important for the liver. It's important for a lot of things. But if you're dealing with cardiomyopathy, heart disease, in my opinion, L-carnitine is a must-have supplement. L-carnitine is an energy shuttle. We said yesterday how it shuttles fats into the little structures inside a cell where fat is burnt, the so-called mitochondria. And if you have heart disease, this is a supplement you want to know about. This is a supplement you want to be using. If you have heart disease, the chances are pretty good that if you go into the mainstream realm of cardiovascular medicine, you're going to get a drug that dumbs down your heart. This is a major pharmacomedical strategy for dealing with heart disease. For over 200 years, this has been the way doctors have dealt with heart disease, dumbing down the heart. One of the first heart drugs was an herb called foxglove. Foxglove is a really beautiful purple plant. Got the Latin name digitalis purpura, technically, purple digitalis. If you have cardiomyopathy, probably digitalis sounds familiar. Digitalis is a source of a medicine called digoxin, brand name Lenoxin, and it works by blocking the heart, blocking electrolytes that go into the heart. Electrolytes run the heart, electrically run the heart. The heart's an electrical system, and it depends on electrolytes. Electrolytes, as you can tell from the name, are little electrical pieces of minerals. Electrolytes, potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, are little chunks of electricity, and they drive the heart. They get fed into heart cells. Lenoxin works by blocking this movement. Does anybody out there think that's a good idea? Your heart and your heart cells work by the movement of electrical energy into the heart. That's the way it's supposed to work. So the pharmacomedical model, in its brilliance, has created a drug that stops that from happening. Who thinks that's a good idea? It's not a good idea. It's an awful idea. And maybe you need it temporarily. I don't even know if that's the case, but let's say you need it temporarily. The last thing you ever want to do is be on this kind of poisonous substance for life, and people are on it for life. By blocking the electrical energy into a heart, you get a decrease in heart rate, you get an increase in blood pressure, and doctors think that's a good idea because you get more blood to the tissues. And this is why every year Americans spend nearly $50 million on digoxin and Lenoxin. Not good, not smart, bad medicine, bad science, in my humble opinion. Do you need drugs sometimes? Do you need to block the movement of electrolytes in the heart if your heart is diseased? Well, maybe, but not forever. The job of a healthcare professional is to make sure you get off your drugs, not to get you on your drugs. The job of a healthcare professional should be to make sure you're not doing poison, not that you're on poison. Do you need it sometimes? Maybe. I'm not even sure if you need it sometimes. Let's say maybe, but you certainly don't need it for life. Another awful type of drug that victims of heart disease and the victims of the pharmacomedical model, and I use that word advisedly, victims of the pharmacomedical model, will be subjected to is a class of drugs called beta blockers. Metoprolol, propranolol, atenolol, olol. When you hear olol at the end of a word, or at the end of a drug name, you've got a beta blocker. Olol, metoprolol, propranolol, atenolol, and as the name implies, beta blockers act to block the heart. They block specifically the beta nervous system. The beta nervous system runs the heart, among other things in the body. The beta nervous system drives heart electricity. So guess what? The pharmacomedical model, in its infinite wisdom, has created a drug that blocks the beta nervous system, that blocks the heart, that shuts down or slows down electrical energy in the heart. Calcium channel blockers, diltiazem, Norvasc, verapamil, they do the same thing. This is lunacy. This is utter lunacy, and we just take it for granted that we gotta be on our drugs. And I am a registered pharmacist, and I've studied these things for 30 years. It is lunacy, medical stupidity of the highest degree, in my humble opinion. Yes, I know you need them sometimes, by the way, so don't attack me on that. But to stay on these things. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. We're talking heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and cardiovascular drugs. We said beta blockers and calcium channel blockers and digoxin, just dumb down the heart. Very poor medical, pharmacomedical strategy, in my opinion, although perhaps necessary occasionally, for short periods of time. Then you come to the statin drugs. Oh my God, what a scamola that is. Over 70% of heart disease patients are taking statin drugs. In fact, according to the Harvard Medical School, nearly 25%, 1 in 4 Americans are on a statin drug. That is astounding. How could 1 in 4 people be taking a prescription drug? And even more shocking, according to the United States government, the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, in a document titled Prevalence of Cholesterol Treatment Eligibility and Medical Use Among Adults, in this document they state that nearly half of Americans whose cholesterol readings, whatever that means, puts them at higher risk of heart attacks, are not taking medication to drive down that risk. And according to the CDC, this represents, quote, a clear opportunity. Yes, opportunity, this is what they call it, a clear opportunity, unquote, for more intensive efforts to advise patients to take medication. They want you on drugs. They see the fact that only 25% of Americans are on drugs. They see that as an opportunity to convince the other 75%. I mean, it's not funny, but it is. It's tragic. Statin drugs are awful. Although you wouldn't know it because they're gently awful. The average dose of a statin drug, say 40 milligrams a day, right? All right, so you might get some muscle weakness, you might get some liver problems, but it's not going to kill you. But if you were just to up the dose a little bit, you'd be dead. And by a little bit, I'd say maybe 10 times. If you take 500 milligrams, or 400 or 500 milligrams, if you're not dead, you'd be very, very sick. This idea of taking drugs when we don't need them, it's a very recent phenomena, maybe the last 50 years. This idea of taking drugs for risk management. Nobody even talks about this. We don't even think about this. We're taking drugs not because we're sick, but just in case. Now, who do you think that benefits? To have people take drugs just in case, to reduce the risk. These are just in case medicines. We're taking them even when we're healthy. And we've only been doing this for a while. This is a relatively new strategy. Think about this. Millions and millions, many millions, tens of millions of Americans, healthy Americans, are taking poisons to somehow keep themselves from getting sick, just in case, and they're paying top dollar for it, either via their insurance companies and insurance premiums or directly. And when I say top dollar, I really mean top dollar. I'm talking hundreds of dollars a month for these things. And you know how much they cost to make? Pennies. Literally, pennies. The bottle costs more than the stuff inside it. The pill costs more than the medicine inside the pill. The excipients and the tableting agents and the marketing. Oh, the marketing. That's where most of the money goes. And we're paying for that. We're subsidizing that. And when I call these things poison, I am talking literally poison. If you take just a little bit more of your drug, say for a tenth of a teaspoonful a day of Zocor, you would be dead, or at least very sick. You cannot poison the cholesterol. You cannot poison anything in the body, but the cholesterol production machinery, and it is biochemical machinery. The cholesterol production machinery is incredibly important. And cholesterol is incredibly important. Unspeakably important. And I know I've said it a lot, but I'll say it again. If you wanted to poison a culture, if you wanted to destroy the health of a culture, a very good strategy would be to put everybody on a statin drug. It is the only healthcare professional who could ever suggest or recommend that somebody took a statin drug is a healthcare professional who does not deeply understand pharmacology and the nature of it. The idea of chronically poisoning any part of the body, especially the heart or the liver in the case of statin drugs, in the name of our health or preventing disease in the name of just in case, is just unspeakably dumb. On the other hand, the health benefits, the heart health benefits, the overall benefits of carnitine. Now, they're not well known by doctors, maybe, but we've known about it for decades. I first heard about it in pharmacy school. Carnitine was first recognized for its energizing benefits, or its energizing heart benefits, back in the 1930s. Health researchers in the early part of the 20th century were starting to get a little concerned because heart disease was becoming epidemic. Heart disease was really nobody really got heart disease until the early 1900s. Heart disease rates started to increase, and by 1920, 1930, 1940, it was becoming alarmingly concerning. Doctors were like, what the heck is going on here? Why are people dropping dead of heart attacks all of a sudden at such an epic rate? Somewhere around the 1940s or 1950s, heart disease became the leading cause of death, and it was relatively unknown. I wonder, looking back, hindsight being 20/20, could it have been anything about the grains? Could it have been anything about the processed foods? Could it have anything to do with our fast-paced lifestyle? Could it have anything to do with fats and trans fats and hydrogenated fats? Could it have anything to do with government recommendations of eating? Well, I would say that's a very good possibility, but doctors remained mystified. And this is when the whole lipid idea, the whole lipid hypothesis became popular. And Dr. Ansel Keys came out with his idea, well, I think it has to do with the fact that we're eating so much fat, saturated fat. And to this day, that's still the conventional wisdom. Nobody ever thought about carnitine, even though in the 1930s, well, we got to take a break. We'll finish up when we come back and take your phone calls as well. Okay, so we do have our guest, Luke Adler. Luke is an acupuncturist and an herbalist, and he is the author of a really cool book called Born to Heal. Luke has been in the healing business for a couple of decades, apparently, according to the book here anyway. Actually, since he was a kid. We'll let Luke tell the story. It's a really cool book about his experiences, as well as what I call the secret side of health, or the hidden side of health and healing. At least hidden, not hidden to everybody, but at least hidden to the modern medical model. Please welcome to the bright side, Luke Adler. How you doing, Luke?
I'm doing great, Ben. Thank you so much for having me on. I've been really looking forward to speaking with you this morning.
I know, as we've had a couple of back and forths here, but I'm very glad to have you on. So when I read Born to Heal, what I got was, and this is something we talk about on this program a lot, is that there are aspects to healing that people aren't aware are there. And there's aspects to disease that people aren't aware that are there. Is that a good way of summing up your vision?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to just put it forth in one or two sentences. That typically when we think about healing, we're thinking about it mostly physically, maybe a little bit emotionally, and that there's a whole kind of another realm to look at it, a way to look at it that can be particularly helpful for certain issues, and for certain issues, maybe it's not so helpful, but.
Well, there's another realm. The idea that there's another realm is just a big idea in itself, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, we can play in this whole other world. Aside from the fact that we can heal from this other world and we get sick from this other world, we can actually play and enjoy our lives from this other perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that's what got me into healing and medicine as a profession. I was, like you said, at a young age, had these experiences of my kind of own awakening or dawning of consciousness in a certain way, and then from 13 years old, I was looking at, well, how do I share this with the world? How do I relate this to others. And of course, there wasn't necessarily a place for me at that age, and then later when I discovered Chinese medicine. The first tenet of Chinese medicine is that all disease originates in one spirit, or in the classical language, all disease originates from the heart.
Is that right? I did not know that. That's the primary tenet of Chinese medicine?
It's one of the primary tenets, yeah.
Interesting.
It acknowledges that the body really serves as a feedback mechanism for the spirit. So
for what's happening in the spirit? So you can determine what's happening spiritually by using the body as feedback? Yeah,
to a degree. Absolutely.
That is very cool. Now, when they say the heart, they don't mean literally the heart. They mean the spiritual nature or the love nature. What do they mean by heart?
Yeah. That each organ system has a spiritual function, and that the heart is really the hub of all functions. And it does have a relationship to the physical heart in that, if you're unhappy, if you're upset, if there's something you're not communicating to someone in your life that is important to you, that it's going to affect your heart, and that it can become a heart pain. It could impact the function of the heart. There could be stress to the heart. There could be stress to the vascular function of the heart. There could be, blood pressure issues if left unchecked. There could be cardiovascular issues, congestive heart failure, heart attack, stroke. I'm kind of laying down the trajectory of more chronic disease, but initially we have these experiences in our lives, and we don't, if they're left unresolved, they can become things that impact the physical body.
Now, what do you make of the fact that heart disease is the number one killer in this country and around the world, by the way?
Yeah, it's the number one cause of death in the world. Yeah.
What does that say about our culture, about the kind of culture we've created?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the things we value. I mean, look at mainstream media, wherever you get your news, the things that are being reported, and since I was a kid, it's all pretty negative based, kind of gossip based. Yeah, fear based. Yeah.
How hard is it to not be in fear if you participate in the culture, watch the news or read the papers or talk to people at the water cooler? How hard is it to not go into fear?
I mean, I sometimes think if you took the Dalai Lama, or you took, I don't know, some of these great beings that are alive in our time, and you put them in an environment that was very negative, that was just embedded with fear. If you put them in that environment long enough, how long would it take for that negativity to rub off?
Even the Dalai Lama.
I mean, I don't know. I think we become the energies we spend time with. So,
that's quite the condemnation on our society, I'd have to say.
I mean, it's just like the if I were to spend time in these kind of environments, it wouldn't be long before I'd start to feel negative and think negative thoughts, and who knows.
I think you raise an interesting point in your book, though. It's not so much the negative thoughts themselves as it is the suppression of those negative thoughts. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the kind of keystone teaching of the book, is that I bring it back to us as individuals and say, it's not that someone else is making us unhealthy, or that we're at the mercy of scenarios that cause disease. It's that at some level we choose to not acknowledge how we feel, and we choose to not express it. And that simple choice of I don't want to feel my sadness today, or I really don't want to. Anger makes me uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna ignore it. That impacts our health physically, and that's the choice that we make every moment. And I'm not saying, hey, let's all go out and express every emotion. I mean, we need to be judicious and use discrimination, but it's more about the willingness to feel the emotions, and that every emotion, every feeling has a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a sense sometimes with emotion that
they're going to stay lousy.
Yeah, and it's going to last forever, and I'm really out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a time thing. Human beings have this weird thing about time. It seems sometimes when we're having an experience that we can't see the end of that experience. And I think that's very intimidating, especially when it comes to really agonizing, painful experiences like grief. I mean, who the heck wants to be in grief forever? But like you say, they have a beginning, middle, and end, right?
Totally. Yeah.
So you can, if you go through it, it'll end, and conceivably, and tell me what you think about this, that particular grief won't ever come back. Is that correct?
Yeah, once you've dealt with it, it's complete. It's done.
It's complete. That's a really powerful idea. All right, so in the book, you link the physical body to a lot of these ideas via the organs, and I want to get to that when we come back from our break, particularly the heart, although we touched on that a little bit. But I want to talk about that in the lungs and the liver as well. We're talking to Luke Adler, author of Born to Heal, acupuncturist and herbalist. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back with more good information from Luke Adler right after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for joining us. We're talking to Luke Adler about his book, Born to Heal. Luke is an acupuncturist and herbalist, as well as a healer and teacher with some interesting insight on the healing process. Hey, Luke, I noticed there's not a lot about acupuncture or herbalism in the book. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't write about acupuncture and herbalism intentionally because I really wanted to provide people a theory, an approach, and tools that they could have ownership of for themselves in their healing process. So I emphasized
empowering the individual, the individual. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't want, my goal is not to have people become dependent on me. I want them to have the skills to heal themselves. So
beautiful. I've always said a true healer is somebody who puts himself out of the picture, who makes himself irrelevant. That's how it should be.
Yeah. I don't want people to remember who I am. I want them to remember who they are.
And the medical model is the opposite. You got to come in every month. You got to go to the pharmacist every get a refill every month. You got to go every year for a checkup. I mean, it wants you embedded in it, or it wants to embed itself in you, which is kind of the opposite. So, I want to talk about this. I love the way you pick these organs, these different body systems, and how you link them to spirituality. But I had a couple questions come to mind. First of all, the book's Born to Heal, titled Born to Heal. What exactly is health? What does it mean to be healthy?
I mean, it's a real subjective thing, right? What is it? If you go to the medical doctor, there's like an acceptable range in your blood labs, and then you go to say someone like me or a naturopath, and we say, oh, it should be up in this range, and
so how do you define it? I mean, how would you, as a healer and somebody who has a book called Born to Heal, how would you define it?
Well, my sense of health is really, I think, it comes down to more of a spiritual, I'd say emotional, and we'll throw physical in there, but it's a sense of happiness, it's a sense of satisfaction. I mean, I just had a dear friend of mine who died at 50 years old, perfect health. They did an autopsy on her and found actually nothing wrong. She just died. And I know plenty of ultramarathon runners and friends of mine who would be considered very healthy by certain standards, and if you check their labs, they're actually pretty unhealthy. Their hormones are completely depleted, and so some people say health is longevity. Some people say, it's having this acceptable range of kind of blood markers, health markers. My sense is it's more of a feeling of happiness and satisfaction that you feel about your life. And if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, if you're not content, if you can't pause for a few moments during your day and just feel gratitude, then there's some health issues.
Contentment's a cool word, because even if you have heart disease, but you're content, right? Even if you have heart disease, say, but you're right. So I think that sums it up really nicely.
Yeah, because there's lots of people that, I mean, it's from the Chinese perspective, from the Eastern perspective, sometimes disease is the lesson that the soul needs to grow.
That's hard.
It's not about getting rid of the disease. It's about coming to peace with it, and that's healing. That, to me, that would be healing. It would be, wow, can I come to peace within my heart, within my being, and go?
It's like healing disease is the booby prize. If you heal the disease, but you're not content, then what good did that do? You want to be, you want the contentment. Yeah, exactly. You want the contentment and the happiness. That's what we're looking for. At the end of the day, we're looking to be satisfied. So why can't, the question is why do we think we need something to be satisfied? Because satisfaction is an internal phenomenon, right? You can be satisfied.
You just hit the nail on the head. It's just another to do. It's just another distraction. It's just another thing for the mind to fix.
Yeah.
What if you heal first and then you heal the body later? Or my sense is when we get the spirit content, the body's going to heal, have a way better chance to heal.
Right. Even if it doesn't heal, it won't matter. But yes, your point is very well taken. You'll be secreting healing hormones. You'll be activating the parasympathetic nervous system, etc.
Exactly.
All right. So we only have a few minutes, and I really wanted to get to this the way you kind of divided the body up into. First of all, it seems, was this arbitrary? There's only 5 systems that you picked, right? You picked the heart, the spleen, the lungs, the liver, and what was the other one? The kidneys, which are all very important. And I don't know a lot about Chinese medicine, but I suspect that has something to do with Chinese medicine. But I noticed you didn't pick the brain at all. Where does the brain fit into Chinese medicine?
The brain is part of, it's distinct, but it's also part of the kidney system. The kidneys and the brain are linked in terms of the constitutional strength and foundation of the body's health. And the brain, I mean, like the ancient texts don't have a lot to say out of the brain other than it's kind of like this unknown organ. What does it really do? And of course, modern day Chinese medicine has integrated Western views around, okay, the brain kind of mediates the functions of all other systems and the nervous system. And, but in the classical text, there wasn't, the brain was lumped in with the kidneys as part of this constitutional ability to just endure and have stamina and reproduce and that functionality.
All right, so we only have a couple more minutes, so I don't mean to rush you through, but this is just so fascinating. The kidney disease is another one of those epidemics, right? It's like crazy how many people are on dialysis or have kidney cancer or just general kidney disease. Let's talk a little bit about the kidneys. As a pharmacist and as a healthcare professional, I think of excretion, and I think of filtering the blood. So tell me, what is your take as an acupuncturist or herbalist or as a spiritual healer, really?
Yeah, It's very much linked to the heart, and I mean, as you know, the number one cause of death is heart disease, but the number one chief complaint in America is back pain. And in Chinese medicine, we link back pain to the kidneys, not just in terms of the location, but in terms of when the kidneys are worn down, when the sex hormones and adrenal hormones are worn down, people tend to get back pain and knee pain. Their whole systems are worn down, and the kidneys being really the source of constitutional strength from the Chinese medicine perspective, the body starts to reveal this or give way to this notion of not being able to hold itself up, and so you have this sciatica or back pain or pelvic pain or menstrual pain or something in that region that we would correlate with the kidney system. And I've chosen the organs because they're kind of general groupings of larger systems in the Chinese system, but we really see the kidneys as being this organ that allows you to keep pushing forward. It allows you to have willpower, allows you to endure. And that when we overdo it, when we drink too much caffeine and sugar and work, the kidneys get worn down. We get sexual dysfunction issues, menstrual issues, back pain, knee pain, et cetera, and so on, hormonal issues. And then like the epidemic in America is, this is arguable from an allopathic to a alternative view is, adrenal exhaustion or adrenal fatigue or just these issues of just being tired or autoimmune diseases.
I can't deal. How about I can't deal? It's just too much. I cannot deal with this. So the adrenals, you're linking the kidneys, the adrenals to the renals. The kidneys and the adrenals are together. Is that what you're saying? And they do functionally. They are. That makes sense. Luke, there's just so much I wanted to talk about here: the spleen, nutrition, the liver, and we're just flat out of time. Your book is the book is Born to Heal. I encourage everybody to get this book. It's anybody who's dealing with health issues to get this book. Anybody could read this. It's really a very fascinating read and also very easy to read. What's your website, Luke?
LukeAdlerHealing.com.
LukeAdlerHealing.com. And you live in Oregon, right?
Yeah, Eugene, Oregon.
Do you see people? Do you see clients?
Yeah, I see patients. I'm going to start seeing someone in 20, 30 minutes, and I do Skype sessions, and herbal consults and, all kinds of
and
things.
all off your website, lukeadlerhealing.com. People can reach you.
Yeah.
Okay, so got about 30 seconds here. Just sum it all up. Tell us one thing to take home.
One thing to take home, I'd say, is be willing today to take a pause, take a breath, feel what you're feeling, and then just after you do that, or in the middle of that, just think about one thing that you're grateful for, and it's going to be really good for your health. It's going to make you feel good.
Awesome. I love it, Luke. The book is Born to Heal. Thank you so much, Luke, and I'm glad we finally got together here. Enjoy your day, and thanks for the wisdom. I really appreciate it. Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, the book is Born to Heal. Heal yourself and heal the world. Luke Adler, lukeadlerhealing.com. If you're in Oregon, you might want to have a visit with him. And he also says he does Skype as well. All right, if you're interested in checking out our Truth Skin Health products, truthtreatments.com. Make sure you take a look at our retinol 5% gel, and I'd love to have you on the Bright Side Ben team. Call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. Start a longevity business today and help me in my mission. We can do this together. We can educate the world about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have yourselves a beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply, or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now, earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com. Or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are you retired or facing retirement and you're afraid your income is going to be less than you'd like? I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and I want to show you a low-cost way to create your own business working around your current schedule, creating extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Injury Help Desk is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention prescription antibiotic drug users. Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox? These popular antibiotic drugs have been prescribed more than 80 million times since 2004, and medical studies show an increased risk of the following injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used the prescription antibiotic drugs Levaquin or Avelox and suffered from aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-823-3851, 800-823-3851, 800-823-3851. Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Do you ever feel like you're being watched? Like someone or some company is tracking your every move online? I know I do. That's why I trust Private Internet Access VPN to keep me safe when I'm online. I use it to encrypt my traffic and use an anonymous IP address. Private Internet Access keeps your internet traffic safe from unwanted eyes so you can finally feel safe. $40 a year for peace of mind is a no-brainer. Sign up today at privateinternetaccess.com. Once again, that's privateinternetaccess.com.
Warning: if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-954-9674. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-954-9674. That's 1-800-954-9674. 1-800-954-9674.
Can your vitamin supplements positively affect your blood in 5 minutes? Protovite can. Protovite is a genuine breakthrough liquid daily nutrition that delivers quality ingredients into your blood in less than 5 minutes. Scientifically proven and backed by clinical studies, Protovite supports energy, vitality, and optimal health. Watch our 2-minute live blood cell video and save for yourself at vninc.com/prohealth. That's vninc.com/prohealth.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply, or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now, earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com. Or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are you retired or facing retirement and you're afraid your income is going to be less than you'd like? I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and I want to show you a low-cost way to create your own business working around your current schedule, creating extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
Are you happy washing your hands with harsh chemicals? Are you happy doing laundry with detergents? Are you happy paying high prices? Find your happiness with Pure Soap. These all-natural, earth-friendly Pure Soaps are the very best you've ever used. Buy in bulk. Get a 12, 36, or 48-month supply, or get items individually and still save big. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. Earth-friendly and natural soaps. Your family deserves the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com. Why not put your money up the drain for a change? See them at 5starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog. Cal Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils. See their full selection of soaps at 5starsoap.com. That's F-I-V-E starsoap.com or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are you retired or facing retirement and you're afraid your income is going to be less than you'd like? I'm Pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and I want to show you a low-cost way to create your own business working around your current schedule, creating extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusades, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.